Restoring Ykepa is a cross-cultural project that translates the English language film Uppland, made with Edward Lawrenson at University College London, into the indigenous Mano dialect spoken in Liberia. So the original film Uppland chronicles the history of a mining town built by the Swedish and the Americans in the 1960s and brings the marginal voices of the indigenous communities to the centre. Well, the project didn't really stop, so to speak, because Restoring Ykepa was a continuation of the film Uppland, and that is a long-term project, a long-term engagement with the communities in Liberia and the expat communities in Sweden. So, but we restored the film to its indigenous language, and we returned with it to Liberia at a time that was particularly vital to Ykepa, as a new mine has opened up on the borders between Liberia and Guinea that is encroaching upon a World Heritage Site, and that is, as far as we know it, being financed by the World Bank. Once again, yeah, I'm very cognizant of my role or my power and privilege as a Western researcher, particularly working in a place like Liberia, West Africa. But it was important for us to translate the film into the language that was spoken, to hand it over to the people who lived there, and allow them to kind of use it as a kind of tool for them to communicate about their existence and their experiences living in a place that had been heavily mined. And so I think that by doing that, we actually improved the film. We made it sort of more appropriate, a sort of more powerful platform for them to, and for their voices to be amplified, not just in Liberia, but beyond. Well, the changes aren't going to be immediate. It's rather kind of a slow form of research. But the film, having been translated back into the Mano dialect, the indigenous dialect, is now within the possession of these communities. And furthermore, it has been placed within the kind of space of politics and government who decide upon these policies. So we're hoping that over time this will kind of percolate and sort of begin to lead to kind of small kind of structural changes. Firstly, I think we have to be very mindful of thinking that the research that we do can lead to bring about change or bring about difference. However, through this project, the difference that we felt that we made was by amplifying the kind of voice and the perspectives of these indigenous communities who are marginalised, and bringing them back into the spaces where policies around mining are decided upon in Liberia. Well, I would define extraordinary impact through research that sort of goes beyond the kind of spaces of academia, that engages with real life experience and real life kind of context. Yeah. So it's really important for me in my work that it goes to extraordinary lengths and take it to these places. And secondly, I would say extraordinary would be that it's not a sort of one-way measure, that the impact is measured through someone's responses, but how it begins to affect your own research and change it.